PFL number 9 this Friday from Washington, D.C. We have got the playoffs for the featherweights and the welterweights. In the main event, Brendan Loughnane, the former champion, takes on Kamaka the other featherweight playoff fight. Maybe the favorite in the entire division. Timur Khizriev takes on Gabriel Braga. In the welterweight division, we have got a rematch already for Shamil Musaev and Murad Ramazanov. And also we got Magomed Umalatov taking on Neiman Gracie, who is filling in for Don Madge. 11 fights on this PFL card this Friday night. And folks, if you haven't yet though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more MMA here on the channel. We do PFL, UFC, and Bellator. As yesterday, we posted our UFC Cannonier versus Borjayo Fight Night predictions. Go make sure to check that video out. Link is in the description down below. Let's get into the first of this 11 fight card. And we start things off here with some showcase bouts, or I guess we've got, 7 showcase bouts until the playoffs, but some of these early showcase bouts are kind of easy to pick. We're going to start things off here with Shido Boris Esperanca taking on Tyler Hill. One guy is 8-1 in Shido Esperanca, and Tyler Hill's 12-8. That's kind of all you need to know to kind of dictate who's going to win this fight. Again, the PFL, I say this every single card, they do this a lot. They book guys who they want to win against inferior opponents, and that's exactly what this fight is. Tyler Hill comes into this fight at 12-8. He is 0-1 in all 3 of the Contender Series, PFL, and Bellator. Lost in the PFL in 2021 against Brett Cooper. Lost in Bellator. We lost in the Contender Series back in 2018 against Dwight Grant, and lost in Bellator in 2016 against Wade Johnson. He has yet to win in a major promotion. He's very iffy, right? Won his last fight against the 3-0 guy. He's taken on an 8-1 Shido Esperanca from Angola, and this guy goes out here, he hunts finishes. He's been stopped once in his career back in UAE Warriors in 2022, but back-to-back wins in 2023, and again, just, a lot of power coming in from this side for the Angolan fighter. I think he's going to go out here and win this one. Not much to really talk about, considering, again, one guy is 8-1, the other is 12-8. This is, again, Shido is supposed to go out and win this fight, and that's exactly what he's going to do. We're going to take him by first round knockout. To our next fight here, going to the heavyweight division, we have got Maxwell Nana taking on Kent Malifo. We're going to be going with Max Nana to win the fight. He is 5-1 as a pro. His only loss coming in his first ever professional MMA fight back in 2022. Since then, 5 straight knockout victories. The last one coming in one championship on the One Friday Fight series that they run. Won the fight by TKO at the end of the second round. He's taking on a 6-1 fighter here in Kent Malifo in this one, who is 37 years old, coming out of Utah, has never fought in a major promotion before, and really the only name kind of note that he has fought is his only loss, and it is a former UFC name in Jared Vanderaa, where he got submitted in the second round by a guillotine choke. Vanderaa at the time was 12-11. He's now 15-11, racking up the wins outside the UFC. Do I ever think Vanderaa, though, is going to make his way to the UFC again? I highly doubt it. But for Mafileo, I believe it is, again, 6 knockout victories for Nana, 5 knockout victories. Someone's going out here. I do like Max Nana, though, to go out here and win this fight. I understand he hasn't fought the best guys, but he's fought in UAE Warriors before. He's won a fight in UAE Warriors against a 4-1 guy in his 3rd professional fight. He beat, again, a 2-1 fighter and 1 championship in his last one, but just the experience and the overall level of competition he's fought is better. And I just think his striking is better than his opponents here. I'm going to go with the Cameroonian fighter here in Maxwell Nana to win this fight. He's the bigger fighter as well. I think, again, he just has a better striking game. I think his striking is crisper, and he's got more power than his opponent coming in Mafileo from Utah. Give me Maxwell Nana to win this one by first round knockout. To our next one here, another showcase bout. We've got Jesse Stirn taking on Jose Perez. I was a little interested in looking at both the odds and where people are going on Tapology for this pick. Jesse Stirn is the betting underdog, but yet he is the favorite on Tapology, and I just don't see it. He's taking on the CFFC featherweight champion here in Jose Perez, who is a master on the ground. Now, his Tapology picture is a little weird, I'm not going to lie. Just go look up Jose Perez on Tapology and see his profile picture. It's kind of interesting once you click on his page. It's a little odd, but it's fine. Again, this is a guy who is a master on the ground, 7-1 in CFFC, defended the CFFC championship in his last fight, where he beat Chris Vassell. Before that, he won the interim featherweight championship over there by submission against Frank Wells in the 3rd round. I just think Perez is going to give Stirn a lot of problems once this fight has hit the mat. Jesse Stern's been submitted 4 times in the past, and again, that's where I think Jose Perez is going to be able to take advantage of this fight. Sure, has Stirn not been submitted since 2021, where he lost in the PFL to Shimon Moraes? Yes, but still, I do think Perez has the advantage down there. I don't think it's too much of an advantage to the point where I think he's going to get a submission. I just think it's going to be Perez controlling this fight on the ground. But again, if you look at the odds, Perez is coming in at around minus 200, Stirn back at you around that plus 165 mark, and I kind of understand those odds. I think that's where the fight should be, but again, I think like 80% of voters on Tapology are going with Stirn, a guy who's 1-2 in the PFL, did win his last fight in the PFL against Josh Blyden, but it was a fight he was expected to win, I think. The losses, Shimon Moraes, Anthony Dizzy, Pat Sabatini. Again, the guy's been submitted 4 times in the past. He's been controlled on the ground. That's what Jose Perez does. He specializes in that. He goes the full 5, and he goes in there and dominates with his grappling and with his jiu-jitsu. Again, being the CFFC champion is no joke. This is a guy, again, who if he wasn't fighting on the PFL, he'd probably be in the Contender Series very soon. I'm taking Jose Perez to go in there and win a decision in this fight against Jesse Stirn. To our next one, and in the bantamweight division, we have got Marceli Alves taking on Brian Zurcher. It was originally supposed to be James Gallagher versus Zurcher. Now you get Alves as a short notice replacement. Zurcher should win this one. He is 9-0. I was really excited for that fight with Gallagher, and I know, again, Gallagher has kind of fallen off a steep cliff in the last, 5 years, kind of as his career has gone. But I thought that would have been a really interesting fight. Zurcher now goes out and gets Alves in this fight. Zurcher's 5-0 in the PFL. He had his first 2 fights outside the PFL, then won 4 in a row in the PFL, went to Lux, won back-to-back fights, and just knocked out Julian Ruiz in his last fight just a couple months ago. The fight was a little bit closer than I would have liked it. Zurcher really didn't get going until that second round. The first round was fairly close. I did score up for Zurcher, but again, the beginning of that fight was a lot closer than I would have wanted it to be, but that second round, again, Zurcher started to take over and again finally found that left hook and put away Ruiz on the feet. Now he gets Marceli Alves in this fight. He's a guy who's 12-4. He's fought in Bellator in the past, fought against Kamidov in his last one where he lost by unanimous decision over on that Dublin card. He beat Jarrell Hodge before that by knockout in the first round. Fought in Jungle Fight prior to that. He was the Jungle Fight Bantamweight champion. Lost to Luan Lucerda in LFA by a naked choke. Again, Luan Lucerda is a guy who has been around. He's in the UFC now. Lost back-to-back fights to start off his UFC career. I don't know if he's still in the promotion, but still. Again, Alves has fought some decent guys, and he has shown the capability of going out there and getting knockouts. And again, that's probably where this fight is going to take place. I think Zurcher has the advantage on the ground, considering Alves has been subbed twice before in his career, and all of his wins do come by knockout. So I do think we see a striking affair. I think this is going to be a fun fight. I think it's going to be very similar to that fight that Zurcher just had with Julian Ruiz a couple months ago, just because, again, that's the type of fight Alves does fight. I don't see this one going the distance. I think this is, again, an all-action type of fight that I do think Brian Zurcher, though, goes out and wins. I think, again, his striking is just better. Alves has been caught before. Zurcher, again, was taking some damage early in the Ruiz fight, but I do think all around he is the better striker. And, again, he is the PFL's guy. He's expected to win this fight, and you would like, again, the matchup going his way. And also, again, Alves is taking this fight on short notice, considering this was supposed to be James Gallagher versus Brian Zurcher in the first place. Give me Zurcher to win this fight by second round knockout. Again, very similar to the Ruiz fight. On now to our next one here, you have got Tyler Diamond taking on Enrique Barzola in this fight. Barzola came into the PFL season off back-to-back wins against Eric Perez and Jaylon Bates, but then came in, lost to Adam Borch his first fight, lost to Timur Khizriev in his next one, and now here he is, 0-2 in the PFL, fighting in a showcase bout against Tyler Diamond. Barzola has been very off and on so far in PFL Tour, right? Won his first 2 fights against Darian Caldwell and Nikita Milikov, then lost back-to-back fights though to Magomed Magomedov and Juan Archuleta. Won back-to-back fights after that, Eric Perez, Jaylon Bates, and then lost back-to-back fights, in the PFL against Borch and Khizriev. I think Tyler Diamond's actually going to win this fight, and I get it. Again, Enrique Barzola, pretty solid ground game. He's able to get it done down there. He's a decent striker as well. Again, not going to knock anybody out for the most part, but he's, a very capable striker too. Tyler Diamond's really coming into his own. I never thought I'd see the day, honestly. Again, this is a guy who fought in the Ultimate Fighter, got to the finale, lost to Bryce Mitchell. Did not make the finals, but fought Bryce Mitchell on the finale card because he lost. Yeah, he lost in the second round of the Ultimate Fighter. Did not get signed to the UFC, went to LFA, beat John Neal in the main event in LFA, got signed to the PFL, beat Sung Bin Jo, lost to Brendan Loughnane in the second fight of 2021, came back in 2023, lost to Movlid Habilev, then came back in 2024, beat Otto Rodriguez in a showcase bout, and then beat Brett Johns in the season by unanimous decision. And I just think Tyler Diamond's finally putting it all together. At 33 years of age, again, he is a Team Alpha Male guy over there in Sacramento, California. Of course, Uriah Faber's gym out there. I think Tyler Diamond's truly putting it all together at this point of his career. I think, again, he is going to be the quicker fighter in this fight. Barzola does concern me a little bit at 35 years of age now, off of back-to-back losses. And I understand Diamond's 33, but still, he has looked way better recently than Barzola. Hell, look at the PFL so far in 2024. Tyler Diamond's won his first 2 fights, and Enrique Barzola's lost his first 2. And I understand Barzola's fought way tougher competition. He's fought the likes of course, Khizriev, and he fought in his first fight Adam Borch as well, but still, Tyler Diamond's looked good in his 2 fights. And I understand Rodriguez, sure, but the Brett Johns fight is really telling, and I like Tyler Diamond a lot to go out here and win this fight. You're getting about even odds for this one, and I do think Diamond all around, though, is just the better fighter. Barzola's already lost twice in 2024. I think he's going to do it a third time. It's going to be Tyler Diamond to beat Enrique Barzola by unanimous decision. To our next one in the welterweight division, we have got Alequin taking on Luka Poclit in this one. We're going with the Moldovan out of SBG Ireland to go out here and win this fight. I'm going with Poclit. Again, I was very impressed with his win over Roman Feraldo by Darce choke over there in Bellator. Again, Roman did lose to Levon Chokli before that, but still a Poclit victory over Roman Feraldo by Darce in the first round is very impressive, right? Came into the PFL, lost Logan Storley. Okay, fought Logan Storley in his home state in South Dakota. It is what it is. But Poclit was a guy who was 3-0 in Bellator. Now he's getting Alequin in this fight, who is 34 years old, from West Palm Beach, Florida. Has lost once in the PFL before, ran into probably the worst guy you could run into in the Challenger Series, in all fairness, in Thad Jean, but lost the fight by unanimous decision. Was undefeated prior to that, but has not fought since January of 2023, where he lost to Jean. I don't understand how you go from that, losing on the Challenger Series, to now fighting on the big show in the PFL against a guy in Luka Poclit who's very solid and better than anybody Thad Jean has fought yet in his PFL career. Again, we just saw him last week against Chris Brown. All around, again, Eric doesn't do anything that really impresses you. He's got a decent grappling game, does not hit for much power at all, only has 2 finishes in his entire career. Again, his strength, I would say, is his grappling game, but Luka Poclit is just going to be better down there. Of course, we've seen him go in there and grapple. I like the matchup for Logan Storley in the last fight with Poclit, just because, again, Poclit doesn't hit very hard either. Storley's chin was coming off the knockout loss to Musaev. But I thought, again, Logan Storley was just going to be able to, out-grapple and exchange Luka Poclit in terms of the wrestling, and that's kind of what he did. I think this fight, though, is Poclit. Again, he's going to be the one dominating on the ground. I think he's got definitely, again, the advantage down there. I don't think Alequin, again, does anything all that well on the ground. I just think Poclit's just so much better down there, and I think he's going to be able to pull off a submission. So we're going to go with Luka Poclit to win this fight by second round sub. Again, this is a guy who was undefeated in Bellator. Came into the PFL, fought Logan Storley on short notice. It is what it is. I like Poclit to go out here and win this fight by second round sub. To our next one here, staying in the welterweight division, Ray Cooper III, the back-to-back champ in the PFL at one point, takes on Muhammad Berkhamov. It's just a tough fight for Ray Cooper III. Again, one of the greatest PFL fighters of all time. I would say it's probably Magomed Karamov, in all fairness. But Ray Cooper III is, again, one of the main pieces to the PFL's history. And this is a guy, though, who has lost 3 out of his last 4 fights. He won the championship in 2021, where he knocked out Magomed Karamov. A tremendous victory, right? It was his second championship because he won it in 2019. Again, shocked the world because he lost in 2018 to Magomed Karamov. It was the second fight, and he ended up winning it. Since then, though, it hasn't been great for Ray Cooper III. It starts by him missing weight in a fight with Carlos Leal. Now, Leal's a very good fighter. He's a guy, he's not even in the UFC yet. I thought he'd be on the contender this year. He's 30 years of age, went 5-2 in the PFL, just lost 2 fights to Sada Bousi. One was a very close split decision. I'm surprised this guy's not signed to a major promotion yet. And the PFL needs Leal back. He's a pretty solid guy. But Ray Cooper loses to Carlos Leal. And again, it started tumbling downwards for Ray Cooper III when he did not make weight for that Carlos Leal fight. Then he came back and knocked out Brett Cooper in the first round. He needed a first round finish to make the playoffs, but it still was not enough, even though he won the fight in 24 seconds. Comes back in 2023, fights on the championship card against Derek Brunson. We have not seen the PFL since. Brunson goes out there and beats him like expected by unanimous decision. Again, Ray Cooper III missed weight for that fight. And then Ray Cooper fights Jason Jackson over in Saudi Arabia. He is the replacement for Magomed Karamov. Again, it was supposed to be Magomed Karamov versus Jason Jackson. Magomed Karamov can't make the date. Ray Cooper III gets pounded in that fight against Jason Jackson like expected. Now he takes on Muhammad Berkhamov in this fight. It's just a tough fight. There's a reason Ray Cooper III is sitting at, a plus 350 underdog, because he should be that, right? Berkhamov's 2-1 in Bellator. A loss to Lorenz Larkin is a little bit concerning. I'll make the case that Lorenz Larkin right now at 37 years of age is better than Ray Cooper III is right now. Ray Cooper is what, 31? I just don't know how dedicated to the sport Ray Cooper is at this point of his career. He's won back-to-back championships for the PFL. He's always been undersized for his weight class. There's no denying that. He's still undersized for 170. And again, he was missing weight at 170 pounds. Sorry, he was missing weight at 185 pounds. Now he's going to have to cut down to 170 for this fight. He's 5'7". And again, Ray Cooper has always hit hard. He's a pretty good boxer. I just think he's going to have a lot of trouble on the ground. As long as he doesn't get to Berkhamov and knock him out early like Lorenz Larkin did, I think Berkhamov should be completely fine here. I think it's going to be one-sided, and it's just going to be a heavy wrestling attack. Again, I don't know how committed Ray Cooper III is to the game at this point. Missed weight in 2 out of his last 3 fights. Again, how committed, or 2 out of his 4 fights, because he made weight for the Jackson fight. I think he did. But again, did not look good in the Jason Jackson fight. I think Berkhamov absolutely dominates here. And again, how dedicated to the sport is Ray Cooper III seriously at this point of his career? I don't know. Give me Berkhamov, though, to win the fight by unanimous decision. To the playoffs. We start things off with our first fight here. It's Shamil Musaev versus Murad Ramazanov. And they just fought. Less than 2 months ago, they just fought. June 28th, 2024, they literally just had a fight. And now they are fighting again. And then again, that's how the thing works, right? The standings, and they just matched up again. Guys, nothing really changes from their first fight. Shamil Musaev is going to win again. Now this time, he's just going to do it quicker. He's the better striker. He's got more power on the feet. Ramazanov just got knocked out less than 7 weeks ago. And he's going to get into another fight with the guy who just knocked him out. And again, is it a slight flaw to the PFL season? Sure, but it is what it is. And again, for Ramazanov, we said it in the last fight, and we'll say it again. He's got the advantage on the ground, I would expect, and I would think, but Musaev is decent enough to counter that grappling attack and counter the wrestling, and he's just so much better on the feet. He's got way better hands. We saw that in his fight with Logan Storley, where he knocked down Storley like 3 times in the span of 5.5 minutes. It was a dominant performance from Musaev, who kind of came out of nowhere for most people, right? Fought in KSW, but was still relatively unknown. Same can be said by Ramazanov. Ramazanov was a 1 championship guy. One of these guys is going to the finals, and it's going to be Shamil Musaev, because again, Ramazanov, he's a guy from Makhachkala, Russia. I don't think he's able to take Musaev down, because Musaev is a very good striker, but he's got very good sambo as well, and defensive wrestling. Again, Musaev should be able to keep this fight standing. With all that being said, Shamil Musaev just knocked this guy out in the second round. He's just going to do it quicker this time. Ramazanov, again, you should not be fighting 7 weeks after getting knocked out. That should just not be a thing, but it's happening because, again, why not? You're going for $1 million. But again, we literally just saw this fight. Shamil Musaev is going to win. I don't understand how he's only like a minus 245. Okay, minus 275. I could have sworn I saw 245 at the beginning of the week. That's only going to keep going. Shamil Musaev should finish this week at about a minus 500 favorite. This is ridiculous. If you can find the prop, go Musaev by knockout, because it's going to happen again. Ramazanov, again, your chin needs time to heal. You should not be fighting this quickly after. Musaev, again, it is going to win. It's going to be a complete repeat of the first fight, but this time it's just going to happen quicker. Shamil Musaev by first round knockout. To our next playoff fight, going to the featherweight semifinal now, we have got Gabriel Braga taking on Timur Khizriev. I said at the beginning of the season that Timur Khizriev is the dark horse to win this championship and probably should be the favorite to win this championship. And again, he's not going to blow you away. He did not get a single finish in the first 2 fights in the PFL season this year, and he is not the optimal guy that the PFL will want to be their champion. But he got into the playoffs with back-to-back decision victories, and he's probably going to win the championship off of another back-to-back decision victories in the playoffs. I think he's going to outpoint Gabriel Braga and beat him by unanimous decision. This guy's wrestling is just too good for anyone else in the weight class. Braga can strike. Again, we saw what Braga's been doing so far in the PFL season this year. He's been doing all right. Bubba Jenkins got hurt in their last fight, so Braga wins it by second round TKO. He missed weight in that fight. He knocked out Justin Gonzalez pretty clean in his first fight, in the first, on the third card of the year. And again, Braga was the runner-up in 2023, right? He was supposed to fight Patricio Pitbull in Saudi Arabia in replacement for Jesus Pinedo. Fight never happened. But he looked good in 2023, right? Beats Marlon Moraes, knocks him out. He beats Jesus Pinedo the first time around, beats Chris Wade in the playoffs, but then just loses to Pinedo in the finals. Again, he's back. Pinedo's not. I don't know where Jesus Pinedo is. I think he got injured preparing for that Pitbull fight. But again, Braga's a good striker. I just think he's going to have hell dealing with Timur Khizriev. Khizriev is just a better version of what Bubba Jenkins is at this point. He just is, right? Again, Jenkins, dominant wrestler who's going to go out there and out-cardio you. that's what Timur Khizriev is going to do to you as well. This guy's very solid. There's a reason he's 16-0. From Makhachkala, Dagestan, Russia, of course, 28 years of age. Braga is very young too. This guy has a lot of potential as well. He's only 26. But again, Khizriev's 28, and he's already, again, he doesn't get finishes. He's had 16 wins, and 12 of them are by decision. One of them is by submission, 3 of them are TKO. He's just not gonna go out there and finish you, in all fairness. But he's gonna go out there and dominate you with his wrestling. It's not that entertaining, but again, he's pretty good. And when you're picking him, it's a little bit less boring. That's all really I can say for this fight. I think Timur Khizriev wins. Braga's only lost once before, and that is to Pinedo, but he has not fought anybody of the wrestling caliber yet of Timur Khizriev, and Khizriev is just going to give him a lot of problems on the ground. Again, and like I said at the beginning of the season too, Khizriev is going to give everyone in this 145 tournament a lot of problems on the ground, and he's going to continue to do so against Gabriel Braga here. Going to be Timur Khizriev to make the championship fight. We're going with him to beat Gabriel Braga by unanimous decision. To our next welterweight championship or semifinal fight, we've got Magomed Umalatov versus Neiman Gracie. The winner of this fight will take on Shamil Musaev. And this one's even easier to pick than the last welterweight fight. Magomed Umalatov, I believe, is a minus 1450 favorite, if I'm not mistaken. Minus 1430. Neiman Gracie should not be in here with him. He shouldn't. Now, again, it was supposed to be Magomed Umalatov versus Don Madge. Don Madge had the points because he got the first round finish in his first fight against Brennan Ward in his first fight. Madge fights Gracie. Gracie wins, but Ward still has the points. Instead, I don't know why Madge pulled out. It was an injury. So Neiman Gracie takes his place because Neiman Gracie won that fight against Don Madge. It makes sense. But Neiman Gracie, just in the year of our Lord 2024, Neiman Gracie is just not that good at fighting. He's 35 years old. He is very one-dimensional. He gets outstruck by literally everybody. And Magomed Umalatov is an ATT guy. He's got very good defensive wrestling. Guys don't take him down. And at the same time, he goes out there and he just outboxes guys. How does Neiman Gracie win this fight? I'm serious. I don't know. Truly, I don't know how Neiman Gracie wins this fight. It's going to have to be through a takedown. He's going to have to get lucky and find a submission. Magomed Umalatov is good enough to keep the fight on the feet. Neiman Gracie lacks takedowns. He lacks wrestling. Yes, his jiu-jitsu is good, but he lacks wrestling, and that's how he doesn't win most of his fights. Umalatov will keep it on the feet, and Umalatov will box his head in until Neiman Gracie gives up or gets knocked out. And I am predicting that to happen in the first round. I don't think this fight's all that competitive. Again, Magomed Umalatov is levels ahead of Neiman Gracie on the feet. And, in terms of jiu-jitsu, sure, Neiman Gracie's better. But in terms of defensive wrestling, I don't think, again, Umalatov is going to get taken down by Neiman Gracie. This is a guy in Umalatov who is 16-0, undefeated, did not get to fight in the championship fight last year where he was supposed to fight Magomed Karamov, which would have been a very good fight. Umalatov withdrew, came back in 2024, beat Andrei Koreshov in a main event, beat Brennan Ward by Anaconda choke in the first round. Now he gets Neiman Gracie in a fight where, again, he will not have to grapple. He will not have to use a sambo. He will not have to wrestle. He just has to go in here and just, again, purely out-kickbox this guy and out-kickbox a guy who is a sitting duck on the feet for the most part. Again, Gochi Yamushi knocked this guy out 2 years ago. Again, Neiman Gracie is so beatable when he's one-dimensional, and he's so one-dimensional in this fight where, again, I don't think he's able to take Umalatov down. So what is Neiman Gracie going to do? Knock out Umalatov? He's going to outbox Umalatov? That's not going to happen. Magomed Umalatov wins this fight, and he gets it done fairly quickly. Again, there's a reason this guy is a minus 1430 favorite. Magomed Umalatov advances to the championship fight to take on Shamil Musaev, which I think is a very good fight. Two undefeated guys, you'd have Umalatov, who's 17-0, Musaev, who's 19-0. Sign me up for that, man. Sign me up for that fight. Magomed Umalatov versus Shamil Musaev is going to be a banger. But give me Umalatov by first round knockout here against Neiman Gracie. As we go on to our main event, we've got Brendan Loughnane versus Kai Kamaka III. I'm taking Brendan Loughnane by decision. I just think Brendan Loughnane's a better striker. And again, 145 has not been the most entertaining this year because you've got two guys in the playoffs in Kai Kamaka III and in, Timur Khizriev, who made the playoffs without getting a single finish, right? Braga and Loughnane were the guys who got finishes. And I'm taking Brendan Loughnane to beat Kai Kamaka III in this fight. But Kai Kamaka, again, is not a guy who's going to go out there and put you away. He has got 14 wins in professional mixed martial arts. Only 2 of them are not by decision. Again, won back-to-back fights in 2024, beat Bubba Jenkins to my surprise, and then beat Pedro Carvalho to the surprise of absolutely nobody in his next fight. The thing is, can he go out there and out-kickbox Brendan Loughnane? No, he's not going to be able to. Loughnane is a way better striker. He's got way more power. I don't know if he's quicker, but he's got more power and he's got more skill on the feet. Loughnane is going to set traps. Kamaka III is going to overthrow, and Brendan Loughnane is going to, put some damage into him. Again, Loughnane, he's going for his 30th professional win, 16 by knockout, 11 by decision, 2 by submission. Again, you are going to see a striking battle in this fight between Loughnane and Kamaka III, and I just think Loughnane is better. I don't think this one really hits the mat. I think it's primarily a striking battle. Again, Loughnane has looked good so far in 2024, right? Wins over Pedro Carvalho and Justin Gonzalez. And now, was the Carvalho's fight stopped a little bit quickly? Sure, I'll give you that. And was the Justin Gonzalez fight just a cut? Yeah, but again, Loughnane was doing damage on the feet up until that point. Loughnane has looked very good in the PFL. He's only lost 2 fights ever in the PFL. He's 11-2. The losses are Movlid Khabiblev, who nobody's beat, and I don't know where that guy is at this point now, but Khabiblev lost in 2021, and then Jesus Pinedo just got to him early in 2023 in the first round. That's what took Loughnane out the playoffs and put Pinedo in a main event. I graduated high school that day, oddly enough. I kid you not. I kid you not. Quick story. My high school graduation, I was there, yes, but they didn't let us have our phones for high school graduation, ridiculous, right? But I was trying to talk to people who had phones, like the staff, because I was concerned if Impa Kasanganay beat Tim Karen or not that night. That's how much this means to me. The second I got out of my graduation, I went to my parents, got my phone, and started watching Jesus Pinedo and Brendan Loughnane. I kid you not. That's how much this stuff means to me. I kid you not. I sat in the car with people in the car. I was in the driver's seat and said, no, I'm waiting. Again, this is I'm getting on a tangent here. I made people wait to get food after our graduation because I was sitting there watching Brendan Loughnane and Jesus Pinedo, which actually sounds very degenerate. And now that's making me question some life decisions I've made. But anyways, that's just the first thing that pops into my mind when Brendan Loughnane and Jesus Pinedo happened. And again, I was very shocked. I was like, holy crap. Pinedo won. But anyways, Loughnane's going to come back here and he's going to win this fight. He's going to out-kickbox Kamaka III. I just think, again, Kamaka, he's not going to finish you. He's been beat on the feet time in and time out. Again, he's won 5 in a row. Kevin Boehm, Adley Edwards, Henry Corrales, Bubba Jenkins, Pedro Carvalho, sure. But, those guys are not very good. And if you want to play MMA math, Justin Gonzalez beat Kamaka III and Brendan Loughnane beat the hell out of Justin Gonzalez. And I get it doesn't work like that. But Loughnane is just so much better. He's way more technical on the feet. He's got more power, and he just hits harder, and he's going to be able to inflict more damage than what Kamaka III is going to be able to throw back at him. So give me Brendan Loughnane to win this fight. He is the PFL's guy, and he's expected to win this fight, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He comes into this fight as a -350 favorite. He should win. I'm taking Brendan Loughnane to beat Kamaka III by unanimous decision. So our championship fights in the featherweight division and the welterweight division are Brendan Loughnane versus Timur Khizriev, and you've got an undefeated versus an undefeated battle. Someone's always got to go in the welterweight division. Magomed Umalatov versus Shamil Musaev. My goodness, what a fight that will be. So folks, thank y'all for watching our PFL playoff predictions here on the channel. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. We'll be back next week for UFC. If you haven't seen Cannonier Borjaio predictions, go check that out. Link is in the description down below. And we'll be back next week for Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady in the UFC Apex. And we'll be back for the PFL later. What is the next card? Oh, September. PFL Europe, and then you got the pay-per-view with Ngannou and Renan Ferreira. And also, if you're interested, we're going to be doing some college football picks later this week as well for Week 0. Again, Florida State, Georgia Tech, the big game on the marquee this weekend. So look for it. So there's that to look forward to here on the channel, folks. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.